It has been dumping all night, all morning. The whole bay is just brown, nasty, muddy water.
Leaving Linton Bay. Beautiful rainy day.
Soaking wet. Whew. Wow. 16?
Shelter Bay Marina, this is Goose.
Echo 05, Echo 5.
Getting fuel. Got our fenders. Nothing like last minute. A little stressful.
Hey there, I'm Kelsey, that's Tim, and this is the story of our adventure. Life is fleeting, and we want to squeeze every bit out of it. We are wandering the world, so home is a bit of a moving target for us. We love finding the random, the remote, and sharing it all with you. So subscribe to get lost with us and hopefully find some inspiration to go after your own dreams.
Welcome back.
In the last episode, we had just arrived in a very rainy Panama.
Yeah, and it was on a Saturday night, so we had to wait till Monday to check into the country.
And in the meantime, I figured I would use all this rain to our advantage and give the boat a little wash, get rid of all the salt. Well, I'm gonna count on that rain getting here and giving us another free rinse. It's been raining a lot, but there's still there was a little squid that came on at some point, so I'm just gonna give it a little scrub to help all the dirt just go away. Ah, Central America. Your bugs, humidity. Can't say I missed you. Now I just need it to rain, but I probably guaranteed that it will not downpour like it has been because there's now soap all over the boat. Because I thought it was gonna start raining and it's just still drizzling. Come on, rain. Well, eventually it did start to rain, thank goodness, and I think it may have never stopped from then on.
Yeah, but at least it was Monday, so it was time to go check into the country.
Well, Tim has gone to check us in. It has been dumping literally all night, all morning. The whole bay is just brown, nasty, muddy water. I'm trying to keep an eye out because often there's branches and big stuff floating along here as it comes out of the river or out into the ocean. So it's very humid. We decided that I should stay on the boat because this area is not the safest. Panama is tough that way for boats. You kind of want to be with other boats, which is, we don't always like that. It's cool to find a remote spot, but here it's not very safe to be by yourself anywhere. And then even here, yesterday, there was our neighbor boat, a little monohull, and they had their dinghy out, and it was the middle of the day, bright, and we had these guys almost come on board our boat, but because we were on the boat and they saw us and knew that we saw them, they kind of just turned right around. So I was keeping an eye on these guys. You could tell they were looking for stuff, and I watched them kind of just cruise past this boat, and they were looking, but they didn't stop. I looked away. The next second I looked, and they were on this person's boat, and as soon as I saw it, I was going to grab our air horn and just make noise, because the dinghy's not down. There's not much I can do. It's very windy now. And the girl that was on the boat, it was a couple, and she just started yelling and screaming and actually jumped into their ponga. They were trying to take their dinghy, but they had only gotten the gas can. She jumped in, grabbed it, jumped back out of their ponga, so they took off. And another cruiser had their dinghy down, so they started chasing them, filming them, and the guys did not care. So that was pretty bold. And there's been worse things that have happened here, so we're just being cautious and keeping our eyes open. And besides that, it's nice to be on the boat when it's windy and rainy just to make sure we're not dragging or someone else dragging into us. But yeah, it's not the most relaxing spot to be, I'll say that. But the boat is getting a good rinse, so there's the positive, guys. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, just because of this area when we got in and we knew it was not the greatest, we've been sleeping up here so that we have an eye on the dinghy and anyone trying to get on the boat. That's been the setup while we're here, and probably will continue to be until we feel like we're in a little bit safer area. So that's all I have to say. I'll show you how wet it is outside. We also took anything that's out here that's just easy to grab. We just took it down, put it inside, and then we've kind of booby-trapped the dinghy so that at least we'll hear anything if someone tries to do anything with that. And then we've been keeping our lifelines closed just as a little bit of a deterrent. The couple that got robbed yesterday, they did call the police, but I don't think much gets done, unfortunately. So Tim is definitely going to be soaked when he gets back. The other nice thing, too, is the people that crossed from Jamaica at a similar time with us, we were, messaging back and forth with them. They got in about a day after us, but they're all here. So it's nice to know we have friends, and we've talked to several of the cruisers around. So you're not out here alone, which is nice. What a day to try and check in. It has just been absolutely dumping rain all day. It's so bad right now that the Starlink isn't even working. I don't have internet. Not that I really need it, but it's nice to be able to talk to Tim. But yeah, it's raining so bad right now that even Starlink is saying it's obstructed. Hopefully it's going well for them. Our VHF has AIS. It also has anchor watch, so you can set a perimeter, and that's really nice right now because it's so hard to see everything that it's hard to keep track of exactly where you are. So it's nice to have some digital backup of knowing that we're not dragging. Obviously, I'm also keeping an eye on it because you can never 100% trust the digital, but it has been really, really good actually. It's pretty accurate because it's the GPS that's up there. So just a nice backup to have and a little bit of peace of mind. At least it's not too windy. There's occasional big gusts, but it's not too bad right now. Just a lot of water.
One eternity later.
Well, the rain let up just a little bit, but because of all the heavy rain, there's so much stuff flowing out. You can see logs and trash and just tons of random stuff. Tim has made it back as soaked as I expected.
Yes.
How did it go, Tim?
It went well, actually. Relatively light for normal Central American bureaucracy.
Yeah.
But as typical, there's a step that they just couldn't do. Guy's not here today. So that's kind of a common thing. So we got in over the weekend, waited till Monday so they were all in. And then when we got there at the opening time, which you never do, you always want to show up late. We were probably half an hour past opening time, but that's still too early. Mm-hmm. We waited a half an hour for them. They were there, but to decide to...
And you don't want to get there too late because then it's lunchtime.
Yep, siesta/lunch, 2-hour lunch. And so we did all the paperwork, got in. They tried to hit us up for $20 just for a fee. And I said, okay, as long as I have a receipt. He's like, no. I said, okay. And I just walked away. And he's like, we'd heard already that's one that he goes for. And then they made some copies for us. We come with our own copies, of course, passports, boat registration, all of it. But there's certain ones that you have to get from them. They fill out a form, stamp it, and they're like, I need a copy of this. So, and your passport stamp that they just put in, they need a copy of that. So those you have to pay for copies. And so I think they kind of, after us not paying the $20 to the other guy,
your copy fees got a little bigger.
They discussed it and decided that $11 was the fees for, 3 copies, pages. So
that's how it goes.
That's how it goes. But at least that was just an upcharge, not a made-up charge. It should have probably been $1.50. But hey, whatever works. We're done and checked in. We still need a cruising permit, though, so we're not really done, I guess. And she goes, just go to Colón. I'm like, yeah. So we have 30 miles or whatever to go to get that. But they didn't seem too concerned, so I don't think it's something that's checked too often. And if it was an issue, all I can say is they told us to go to Colón and not worry about not having it. So, But at least we're stamped in passports, and
yes.
we have a carbon copy that I tried to keep as dry as I could that says we're in the country legally now. So that's done. I'm online right now working on the Canal Authority paperwork, which is a whole lot of online work. It's really easy. This website was set up by somebody pretty capable, or a group that's pretty capable, because instead of it being insane and bureaucratic and, like every other country we've checked in and out of with our truck, if there's a website, it is unintelligible almost.
Mm-hmm, nothing ever works, and if you do it online, they don't get it, or
yep. Yeah. Or then you need to still go physically pay a specific bank office in town or whatever. This is all online, putting in bank details, all of that, and it looks shockingly simple. We're on like 9 out of 10 steps already. We just need to pay money, and then someone will measure the boat. But
we need to be where they can measure our boat first, because we're not there yet. So
we need to be in Colón or Shelter Bay, or I guess Portobello they'll drive to, and there's a fee in here for all that anyways. And so as soon as we're in a place where we know they can inspect it, we'll go ahead and do this final step, get the boat measured, and then it's just a matter of, okay, how busy are you and when's an open spot? So yeah, good progress, but yeah, it's just dumping. And then the amount of trees and trash and all that, we've seen it before, but man, the mountains just dumped all of their debris out into the bay here. So it's not a good day to turn on engines and try and suck any of that water.
Yeah, it's a little hard to move today because of that, and then also just visibility. I mean, right now the rain's let up a little bit, but it is. I turned our anchor light on because it was so dark.
Yeah, it's that dark. And not only that, but all these bays are unknown to us, and so it's always a first time. So you probably don't want to leave here, go to another first time anchorage when you don't have good visibility, because this sandbar over here that we can see is about 6 inches deep isn't even on the chart. So it's just one of those things. We'll probably wait until it's a little better visibility. I don't mind the rain, but if it was at least a little sunny and a little less debris in the water, you'd go, okay.
Yep.
So yeah, good day.
The water is so muddy, and it doesn't smell too good either, so it might not be just mud. Not going for a swim anytime soon, that's for sure.
So much water.
Yeah, it was constant. Very Panama of it.
Yes.
To give you a little more context on why we are a little worried being here, if you look at some of the apps that we use, like No Foreign Land, it'll show 20 plus pins of different robberies and assaults, and actually worse, happening to cruisers just in this one bay. And as you go along the coastline, you'll find more of that. So it's still very unlikely to have something like that happen, but it's no fun always being on your toes, and especially seeing a theft happen right in front of us so brazenly, and the cops officially getting the report and doing nothing.
Yeah.
Doesn't set you at ease.
There was a good thing though. The people that did get robbed, she ended up breaking her foot from jumping into the little ponga. But the marina that was nearby heard about this and offered them a free night or two at the marina so that they could feel safe and get some sleep, that was really cool of them to do.
Yeah, and I think that's the case. Anytime anything bad happens, there's always nice and kind people around. So you got to remember that.
Yeah, but it doesn't make us feel very comfortable to like leave Goose at all when
unattended
we're in areas like this. So,
no way.
Yeah.
But alas, the next day the wind was finally looking good. A little bit too little of it, or so the weather report said. So it's time for us to start making our way to Colón.
Yes.
Howdy to a rainy day, leaving Linton Bay. So we decided to head out of Linton Bay. We weren't planning on spending time there. It's really a boatyard, a very good boatyard, I think. I don't know about the skill and all that, but I do know it was a nice flat place. The chandlery has lots of boat parts, more than you would think for such a small port or harbor. But yeah, for us, there's nothing there. And then when the attempted theft happened, when they approached our boat and then they actually jumped on someone else's, you're not sleeping well. We've been sleeping up top here in the saloon where we do on a passage, because that's the only way I'm gonna really be sure I can hear if someone came aboard. We've got the safety lines on just as a harder thing to get on further. So for us, it just wasn't a nice place to relax, given the security issues there. And super rolly. Yeah, so it was all the bad things, right? It was super rolly. It hadn't stopped raining. That's not Linton Bay's fault. That's just Panama in the rainy season. And, with the security stuff, and then when that couple reported it, and all of us reported it via the WhatsApp group, no police have ever shown up or said they're even going to take a thing. We have their faces and the name of the boat they're in, the ponga, all that, but so you kind of go, we're not sleeping that great here. Let's make progress. So we're heading to the flats, they call it, next to Shelter Bay Marina. And there we can do the paperwork and the online paperwork to do the canal transit. So we're just going to get down there, hang out, start provisioning. And but it's not a bad sail. It said it was 8 to 9 knots. It is currently 19.5 knots true wind speed.
And we still have the engine on because there's no sun.
Yeah.
We have no power.
So many days of no sun. And I didn't feel too bad because the boat next to us, our friends, has 4,300 watts of solar, and he had to turn a generator on. We don't have a generator, but figured we'd leave one engine on just above idle so it's charging at its maximum output, but it's using almost nothing. But we certainly don't need it to move right now with 19 knots of wind. We're doing 8 to 9.5. And this boat's good downwind, but we don't really have downwind sails. We got the main all the way to the side and the jib to the side. The wind's too high to put the ASIM spinnaker out, and it's a little scary in these seas to climb up there. So, yeah, I can imagine if we had a downwind sail or a Genoa or a Screecher, this boat would
be good right now.
Yeah, Screecher would be great, just because you could furl it away if it got to 20-something knots of wind. But, yep, 19 knots of wind. Apparent, because we're going downwind, is only 12. So, very mild because we're making some good speed downwind. But, yeah. Beautiful rainy day. Pretty cool. All right, back to sailing. Woo! True wind speed 17 to 21. Boat speed's been between 9 and 12.5. Dead downwind, well, not quite dead downwind, 150. It's fun.
Little damp.
Little damp.
Everything is wet.
Happy to close that up a little because it's still blowing rain in it.
Including me. Soaking wet. Wow. 16?
16. Jeez. Yeah.
We just did 16 something after a few of the pushes to see how fast we actually got. That's our new record top speed. And it's very, very windy. We're in the heart of the Squall.
Eventually, after 30 minutes or so of being bashed, we had a slight lull, but it was enough that we could put a reef in the main. Usually we can see a squall coming, be it on radar or just visually, but when there's rain everywhere, you can't really see it until it hits you. So the high winds caught us by surprise this time, and all we could do for a while was run.
I just cranked it up.
Squall is gone. We got the full sails out again, and we're not too far from where we're going. So we are coming into where all the ships are either entering or exiting, depending on which way they're going, the canal. So when you look at AIS, there are boats everywhere. So we have to call. Tim just called in for kind of like air traffic control, but for boat traffic coming in and out. And they told us to call back in 1 mile. So we'll see what they tell us. So scary when their props are out of the water. So we're kind of entering the Colón area port, which is where the original Goose went on a ship to cross the Panama Canal and then got stuck for 3 weeks, and we were stuck in Cartagena for Christmas. But yeah, kind of weird to be back here where the OG Goose got on a ship. And I think he went to Cuba and all over the place before he went just to Cartagena. So this breakwater is what you have to call to get permission to go through, just because so many ships are transiting and it's not a very big area to go through. So Tim already called and they said go ahead. So that's what we're doing. But yeah, you can see all the ships waiting out there. And then there's a bunch more inside this breakwater. Also, looks like they're just anchored doing something.
Well, after all that, we successfully made it to the flats, and as the wind does, it went from extremely high to barely enough to sail, but we made it.
Yep, we dropped anchor and everything was soaked, it seemed like, including us, but like rugs, everything was just completely wet. So while I worked on getting everything cleaned up, Tim started some of the canal stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. What we'd found out with this do-it-yourself without an agent canal crossing is that it's very easy, deceivingly easy. I kept looking for, what are we doing wrong? Where's the trick? Where's the normal bureaucracy that you encounter when you're traveling the world? And we just didn't find it. In fact, they didn't even need to measure our boat. These days, they don't measure boat unless it's really big, like mega yacht big, then they start measuring again. But at our size boat, up to one almost twice the size, there's no need to even do that. So I did make that call when we were all set and ready to go, the money had been spent, to ask what the next availability is. And they said 2 days from now.
Which was a little too soon for us. We had a lot to do that we needed to get done before we could cross the canal.
True, and we had to make sure our friends could make it to the boat, otherwise we'd have to pay line handlers.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts when you're trying to plan this.
That's for sure.
So we picked a day about 4 days out.
Yeah, which meant we still had a ton to do in a short amount of time. And so we decided might as well spend a couple of nights at Shelter Bay Marina, which is the marina right next to where we're currently anchored. That way we could leave the boat without worrying about it and get everything done a lot easier. When you're carrying groceries from a dock to a boat, it's a lot simpler than car to dinghy to boat, etc.
Yeah, we also needed some power because the sun was not there.
Shelter Bay Marina, this is Goose.
Hello, Capitan. Just stand by for instructions.
Yes, copy that.
Okay, Goose. Shelter Bay Marina, over.
Shelter Bay Marina, this is Goose, go ahead.
Echo 05, Echo 5. It'll be stern 2, port tie, over.
Copy that. So Echo 5,
You're
port
on
time.
the leadward side on the south side of Echo Dock, Captain. After the fourth dock, you're going to turn starboard, over.
Okay, copy that.
Let's just go ahead and come on in when you can, and I'll guide you in, over.
Sounds good. So Echo Dock is one from the last, yes?
This is correct, Captain. This is correct, over.
Okay, copy that. Approaching the mangroves now and headed towards E-Dock.
Hello, Capitan. Please keep the fenders barely touching the water and your mooring lines ready, over.
Copy that.
Okay, Goose. Head towards the main pier. Your slip is right here, the second slip. Turn in, port side tie, over.
Copy that. Heading towards the main dock. Okay, it's gonna be swinging, so let me know if I swing too much. Okay. Let me know when I'm kind of clearing on that and I can just go straight back. Okay.
About 4 feet on starboard, so don't worry.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I've got one line on back there.
How's this swim stuff looking there? Okay, cool.
Straight back, Captain. You got 3 feet on your starboard side.
All right. Beauty. Thank you for the help, guys.
You guys were here before, right?
No, never been here. We checked in Linton Bay on our way here, but that was our first time on a boat in Panama anyways.
Okay. Big curve, dale, so. Dale. A little more, Cap.
Okay.
A little more. Don't worry. Hey.
All right.
That way you're able to get off.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to Shelter Bay.
Thank you.
All right, man. Appreciate you have Crocs in the water.
Okay. Got it.
Swimming and diving.
Yeah.
We never had an issue.
No. I same with like in Linton Bay there too. You don't really see them, but when you go near the dock, you usually see one. You go, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just hand you that.
So we never plug into power. This is the second dock we've been to, but we haven't seen sun in a few days, so we need to have some power other than solar. This is what we've resorted to.
It's not traveling around the world and this is sketchy things.
Someone let us have this plug in.
May never get it out again. Okay, so that needs you to go outside and watch everything because we don't trust anything.
Only a little nerve-wracking.
What do you see?
Nothing yet.
Okay. Nothing yet.
Mm-mm.
There's anything we're not doing?
3. So we weren't able to get the plug that another cruiser had given us to work. So we hoped the next day when we went into town, we'd be able to find one.
So we are here, Shelter Bay Marina, and the nearest store is here. The only way over there is via this bridge. Luckily, the marina offers a bus into town, which is where you join us.
Okay, so we took the bus to like the little mall that has a supermarket and a bunch of stuff, hoping we can find a power outlet and then get groceries so that we can cook for everybody going through the Panama Canal. That is the plan. We'll see what we can find. I know we'll get groceries. That one, there's a big store, so.
We're good on that one. What else will we find? We'll find out.
We're still too early. Most things are closed. Grocery store's open, but all the little stores in here not open yet. Hardware store seems to have it. So she's getting the key, and we'll look at what our options are here.
Cool.
Is there anything else we need from a hardware store? Okay, the hardware store had something that might work, but we're not sure. But somebody told us there's a boat place over here, so we're gonna try that because it is kind of marine specific.
Yes.
So that's our next stop. Okay, no luck at the boat place, but we did get some more fishing supplies.
Always.
But no power yet, so
Yeah.
we're just gonna go to the grocery store and worry about that later.
Yep.
All right, we did it. We have 3 bags of backpack and a roller bag that we brought because we knew we'd be buying like heavier stuff, beer and that. So now we're gonna get an Uber back and then start putting all this away. Made it to the taxi.
With all of her bags.
All right, we made it back to the boat. That was not a very fun Uber ride.
No.
The guy was trying to shake us down for money the whole time.
Yeah, so.
Just not fun.
Nope.
You did it. We have power.
We have 35, 36 amps on one battery.
Ooh.
34 shows 72 coming in, so that really makes sense. Plus we're using a little, I'm sure, on things.
Yeah.
That's amazing. 72 coming in. That's
Nice.
great. So we have a little solar.
Yeah.
And then that's a 50 amp charger, so 50, 67. So we might have 22 coming from sun. even though you
At the
can't
moment,
see it.
yeah, it's sort of sunny.
Or it's producing more than.
For Panama, it's sunny, which means it's just less cloudy.
Yeah. So that's exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome. Nice work. I was so happy to have power. I could now edit again without worrying about charging my laptop.
Yeah, and it was really nice to know that we could plug in Goose since it was the first time we'd ever done it. It was nice to see everything worked properly and there was no fire or anything like
Yeah,
that.
it had an Australian plug still.
Absolutely. So we were able to modify, get everything to work. And the best part was we found the part that we needed about 20 steps away from where our slip was at the marina.
Yeah.
They had been closed thus far, but finally they were open and they had the exact part we needed. But right after we plugged in, the sun came out, so we only needed it for about 12 hours.
Yeah, I think literally the next day was the first full sunny day we had seen in about a week.
And how'd you know that?
Because I had to food prep. Okay, prep day 1 for going through the Panama Canal. We have to feed the people that are on our boat, including, what's the guy called? The pilot?
Yep.
The pilot. So we have to feed the pilot, and he expects hot meals, and if he doesn't like what you got, he can request a boat to come out and bring him food, which costs a lot of money, like $700-800. So today I'm going to prep a lot of the food so that it's easier as we're going through the canal, and so I've planned what I'm going to make, and we went to the store yesterday to get everything, and today I'm going to start making whatever I can so that it's easier just to like heat stuff up and it's a bit prepared at least. So hopefully he likes what we give him, because would really prefer not to pay $700 for food. So that's what we're doing today. It's very hot. It might be the first day that we've seen the sun since we've been in Panama, which is kind of nice, but also I'm already sweating and I haven't started cooking, so it's gonna be a hot one. All right, first up we got breakfast burritos. So that's what I'm working on now. Getting fuel. Yeah. Got our fenders. And we're gonna get fuel, and then we're gonna move to a dock that's much easier to get off of in the morning, early. And we're still waiting for crew, so hopefully they show up. Nothing like last minute. A little stressful. Well, we finally are slowing down. It has been a crazy day. I'm not really sure what we filmed and what we didn't. We got fuel, we prepped all the food, we cleaned up the boat. There's just endless amount of things, and it was so hot today, so we've sweated so much. And we are still waiting for our crew to show up. So they should be here tonight, and then it's going to be a very early start tomorrow. But I think that we are ready.
Yeah.
And then we moved also to a dock that's much easier to just leave in the morning. It's nice and quick and easy.
Yeah, a little more airflow out here, which is nice, coming in from the ocean.
It was hot today.
Yeah. So it was one of those days everything worked, and our friends Alejandro and Anna just came through for us so big, because they were always going to join us, but again, they were supposed to be tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.
And then you call this morning like you're supposed to the day before your transit.
Confirm.
And I even asked, will it be a one day? Just kind of hopeful. Nope. Afternoon, you'll head out about 2 p.m.
When we first booked the appointment.
Yeah, but this is only 4 days ago.
Yeah.
That, right? So 4 days ago, definitely not a 1 day. 2 day, you'll leave Sunday, you'll spend the night on the lake. Monday, you'll finish. Okay. And then I call this morning, goes, okay, so you're going to be all alone.
What?
No other boats, which is good, bad. I mean, good in the sense that you're not going to bang into anybody, because you could picture a giant boat next to you, or a steel boat, or something that can really crush you.
Yeah.
Or just a knucklehead. There's almost all boaters are good if you've gotten to Panama, but there could be a knucklehead too who doesn't know his boat or how to steer or
panics or something.
Yeah. So it is kind of nice to be alone. Our line handlers are going to be working hard, because we're alone. That means that we're going to have lines being thrown at us from both sides. Yeah. And we'll tie up, and we should be in the middle, which would be great. Although we have big fenders, we could be along the side too. So whatever works. But I can't believe we're doing it. I can't believe that it's working. I think both Kelsey and I have this issue where we doubt so heavily that things will work out. I wouldn't say pessimistic. I mean, it can be, but I think we just have had so many challenges in traveling over all these years.
Yeah.
That tomorrow, when we're actually out there and the pilot gets on and doesn't say something like, wait, you don't have da-da-da?
Yeah.
Well, you need to get the hell out of here now. And he just gets taken off our boat and we lose all the money.
Yeah.
I will know that it worked out. There was no need to do an agent if this is going like I think it is.
There will be a big sigh of relief tomorrow when we drop anchor somewhere over there on the other side.
We're going to have a Panamanian Guinness. We've had a lot of Guinnesses in different countries. We've had the American Guinness,
that's more the normal one with a widget in it.
Yeah.
And then we've had some weird extra strong in Bahamas, they call it. And then we had some made in Jamaica. Now we're in Bahamian, so let's see.
There's a lot of bugs out.
Not bad. Not as good as real Guinness, but I mean, it is Guinness, but the extra strong always has like a slight medicine-y taste because the alcohol level's like 1% more.
So there are crocodiles in the water here.
Yep.
So you cannot go swimming
Lots
or
of fish, though, too.
clean the bottom of your hole. It's pretty much all mangroves along the edges.
I think there are 3 Amel Super Marabous, the SV Delos boat, here in this harbor. And there's a brand new Amel that looks completely different. I mean, very high end.
Yeah.
Amazing.
There's a big gunboat over there.
Yeah, that's gunboat Tosca. I don't know how to say
Huge.
it. But I think it won one of the Round the Islands races in the Caribbean.
Everyone's coming and going
Yeah.
here so often because everyone's transiting or
Yep.
just getting out of the canal and then heading on to wherever they're going to go. So
Yep.
it's a busy little marina.
Yeah, it is.
But it's actually a really, really nice marina. Everybody's really been super nice and
We
helpful.
really don't know what to expect because when we're overlanding, like the campgrounds and stuff, I mean, it's low money that campgrounds are making, and we did very few. But we also avoided them because they were all terrible, really. I mean, there wasn't anywhere good. Oh, yeah. But I have to say, this harbor and the one in Jamaica, not so much Linton Bay, but the one in Jamaica and then here at Shelter Bay Marina, I mean, I'm blown away. We're paying like $40 a day to have, full hookups. The water's free, the hookups, the power's cheap, and we hooked our boat up for the very first time. So really we did it for one day.
Yeah.
Batteries were topped off. Next day was sunny. We unplugged. So that's just a couple bucks. But, we don't want to do a lot of marinas, but the ability here to get everything done. The guy delivering the fenders and lines to us.
There's a
when we
bus
get
that
fuel.
takes you into, because
$1.50.
the store is kind of far away. So, there's a bus that takes you in and out, which is nice.
And then anything we've done around here, the sort of harbor master, the guys who work for Shelter Bay, have just been so on top of it. They're like, well, you're leaving at 5 a.m. tomorrow. Okay, so we need to get you fuel. We're going to move you to the front of the line. And like literally, they just like shifted us in front of some other boats. We've been wanting to get fuel since yesterday, so we were kind of early in line anyways. But they're like, we'll just make sure no one tries to jump in because we need you to get fueled up so you can go in the office and just pay before they go home. Since in the morning you're leaving and these other guys aren't. You're just like, thanks. And then when you go to the fuel dock, that guy you talked to on the radio is waiting for you to handle lines, even though the fuel dock guys are handling lines too. When you leave there, they're like, okay, we're going to put you where you see us tonight on A dock. So easy to get out of here, literally right out to where we're supposed to meet the pilot. So that's been really good. I think I go in with very low expectations, but both Jamaica and here, our first 2 marinas we've ever been in really have been amazing. And like people really putting in effort. And,
Looking around at all the things that are moving. There's like iguanas on the shore here. There's little crabs. I don't know if the camera will be able to see it though. Oop, gonna scare him too much. There he is. Crew's all here. Yay! Yay! You guys will recognize them. Cool. Now we all go to bed.
it's going to be a long day. So.
Well, I can't tell you what a relief it was to have everyone on board. We had hustled hard for the last 3 days, and it was nice to have everything on board.
Absolutely, and it all worked out. Huge thank you to Alejandro and Anna and our new friends, which you'll meet in the next episode. They had modified their plans last minute once we heard we had a one-day passage. And so thank you so much for everyone pitching in. It was the only way we could get this done.
Absolutely. But we were still a little nervous about the whole process because everyone seems to think you can't do this without an agent. But fingers crossed, it's seeming okay so far.
Hopefully everything works out. It definitely filled me with a little bit of dread when the harbor master in the harbor we're in even said, "What? I didn't know you could do that." So we'll let you know how that all works out next week. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.